fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome back, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. Happy Patch Day, where today we're going to be doing DS9 Part 2 for Retribution. Part 2, more Outpost stuff, Fleet Commander Sisko, which we've talked about in a previous video, as well as a few other things coming, including quality of life stuff like the Meridian getting added in, and finally seeing exactly what that Meridian entails. We did talk about that on the stream last night, but hey, who has time to go to every live stream? But if you're here, make sure you check out RevDeuce.com. Get your ugly Christmas sweater. They're rocking it right now. It's got some dabbing snowmen and gingerbread men on it, which is cool. All right, let's jump right into this. Let's talk about what's important, what maybe you will find the most valuable, and what you will like. So what do we have inside of this? Well, we've got Elite Solo Outposts, like I said. We've got Benjamin Sisko, updates to the actual Outpost refinery, making it better, especially the higher level you are, better for you. Obviously, this all starts for level 51 and above. Don't forget, if you're one of our lower level players, G3, G4, there is a whole set of stuff just for you battle pass wise, unlock wise, event wise, which is good. Wait till the end of the video to kind of see all that. So missions, Ezri Dax, new Chaos Tech. I'm kind of on those, but I'll see what you think, and I'm very curious. Outpost Battle Pass and the Retribution Battle Pass, and then, like I said, the quality of life updates. Let's talk about the Meridian. So, Meridian, you'll be able to max it out, finish out in the archives at level 56, archive building, and obviously tier 9 Meridian. So, if you've not maxed it out, go ahead and start working on that. Here's what I think should be really exciting is what they all decided to include here. So, everything ISO 1, 2, 3. So all those bundles handled. You can get those every day. ISO emulsion to ISO resin conversion. The ISO resins, if you don't remember, is part of the first sets of territory updates that came, which included territory research updates. There's specific researches that require resin that you need to use to unlock various researches, so that's included. We've also got partial titanium and the lithium bundles in the territory store. Again, I actually really think that's good. And then finally, all territory capture services tied to the 1-star and 3-star isogens. Now, a little bit further detail here, but what that basically means, all those particles you need, you got them. Now, if you have an alliance like I do, I lead an alliance on server 710, which is a newer server, less than 2 years old. And we've got a lot of lower level players, G3 players, G4 players. So if you can't max it out, you're still going to rely on your alliances to turn those services on, allowing you to get those Metreon particles, Phantom particles, Surex particles, Quantum, etc. So you'll still need your alliance to do that, and you'll still hopefully be doing that for your players. Again, we do that over on server 710 in the Alliance Horde. We want to make sure all of our members get what they need. So still great though if you are a player with a max Meridian or working on maxing it. This is definitely going to expedite that process. Now, as far as what the pillars themselves give, well, good news right here. Ship part cost efficiency. So as you progress through, you get cheaper, or it's reducing the cost to max out the Meridian. Cargo capacity going up. Meridian ISO mine. Bleh. Oh, that one's kind of it's very small. FKR ship protected cargo though, that's for all of your faction miners, getting a 100% PC boost, and then finally getting the golden Meridian avatar, which many of you might have already seen in the actual game. So big updates there. We've had that update to the hierarch with their captain's maneuver. Also keep an eye out this mid-month patch for more officers details that could be dropping, but we've already covered that in live streams and such. But basically they updated it and a little bit stronger now, to be honest with you, and you're seeing more high level players run this. If you're a mid or lower level player, you're probably not seeing a lot of hierarch in PvP, but as more of these crews roll out, especially with Ezri Dax, be very curious to see how y'all choose to go about it. We'll focus more on that when we get to Ezri Dax. So missions again are going to be for Ops 51 and above, and they are separated by week, so keep an eye out for them. Week 1, you've got Fragile Alliances part 1 through 3. Week 2, Crowded House parts 1 through 3. Then week 3, Acquiesce, and finally week 4, The Trap. So going all the way through Christmas with some Christmas specials coming in towards the end, which I think are really neat. But Solo Wave Defense Expansion, we have Elite Solo. So think Elite Solo Waves, just Outposts. The same kind of concept. These are harder, much more difficult to complete. You really want to get your building to level 40, because remember, that lets you get a third ship in Outpost. And then obviously that comes into like how they're using that to, you know, put the bait on the hook, try to get you to get that Fleet Commander Sisko, so you can get 4 ships in an outpost, because you're really going to want all that extra firepower for the elites. But they're structured pretty similarly to the regular outposts. They're just much beefier and much stronger. So pushing it on down, what do we have in these elites? We've got higher challenge, elite credits, so you can get Elite Outpost credits unlocking new rewards to the Outpost Refinery, like FKR faction reputation bundles for G5 through G7 players. DTI obviously has been something you've seen a lot of that improves rep. Well, big bundles coming here for Outposts, allowing you to expedite that. Remember how we talk about, 3 to 6 months in, you start seeing things like, economy rollouts for the premium area, G7. Well, but earlier than expected, you're already getting some of those between FC Sisko and the Elite Solo Outpost. So now you've got dropping significantly higher qualities of retaliation medals and plunder. Remember, you need both of those to unlock officers. In this case, you need the plunder to unlock Fleet Commander Sisko in the free-to-play path, and the Elite Outpost pay out significantly more, which will allow you to pour more shards of Fleet Commander Sisko every single day because there will be a timer. That's gonna be a big thing when we get to FC Sisko. His path is really kind of determined by how much of the outpost you can actually interact with. So, able to access more powerful and more numerous outpost upgrade buffs. There's, I think, 4 now to each one, and some of them are, again, kind of the same concept. I still don't think that's really changed much in how people view them, but we'll see. Elite Solo Outposts are initiated with Elite Solo Outpost Strike Directives, which can be earned through the free track of the Battle Pass, and additional directives will be distributed during the release period, allowing players to try out and explore the new content. I will also point out real quick, this does not mention permanent sourcing, specifically Battle Pass and gifting. They still have permanent sourcing coming next year, as these will remain following December, as are the original outposts, but they've still not made specific announcements, or at least clarified announcements of how the permanent sourcing will be. So I don't have anything to give to you. All I can tell you is the plan is for outposts to remain, including the sourcing being a permanent function. With the exact details of that, they're still kind of, keeping that close to the chest. All right. Elite Solo Outpost entities. Elite Solo Outposts follow the familiar structure established by common Solo Outposts, offering a 2-layer encounter. So remember, you beat the outpost, then you fight the hostiles in waves. Remain immune to non-generic Armada and Marauder power while still being fully affected by outpost-specific buffs and abilities. Remember, basically the same crews that we did before, kind of translate here, but much stronger hostiles. Elite Solo Outposts retain the same core abilities and upgrade systems, but push them even further. So just imagine them being very, very power creeped outposts. All right, so you got the Cardassian ones, basically doing the same thing we've seen before, increasing Apex Shred versus Cardassian Outpost hostiles. That's going to be the buff. And then we've got these variants and values here. So increasing maximum cargo. This is while you have it active. So while you're doing an outpost, you can take benefit from this. Increase loot from hostiles and Armada. And then you've got increases chance to trigger morale. I do appreciate them listing this, because remember, if you wanted to activate the 100% max loot, you would need to dock your ship and undock it to have that actually take effect. So we have the down here, we have these values: officer stats, hull health. Maybe that 200 or 2,000, I'm sorry, hull health maybe gets people going, well, maybe I do want to activate this certain outpost and go after it. You let me know if that actually moves the needle for you at all. But that's going to be the 56, 66, 77 values. So that's the level that you're going after. Then you've got the hull breach for 1 round. And finally down here, you've got the 60 through 70, 80, which is going to give you hazard protection. Again, that one actually might get people out here doing outposts for a specific reason: mining speed and burning. Nodes, again, same structure. You're going to have Borg ones here in a second, with big buffs being Apex Barrier versus the nodes. I'm still, again, probably going to point everybody to focusing on the Borg ones. We'll see if the math actually checks out on that. We'll have a video about Elite Outpost here this week. Keep an eye out for it. Apex Barrier in PvP up to 50,000, which can be really significant. And I'm really curious to test that out with Mira Uhura. Again, these buffs are definitely better, but remember, these are much, much more difficult in terms of the ability to complete these outposts. Critical damage, and then an ISO, and then down here we get Apex Shred in PvP, critical damage, and ISO defense. That one actually being probably the weakest of the group. Then we have critical damage, ISO damage in PvP, and Shred. Down to the Elite Borgs. This is probably going to be my favorite set, as it was previously. ISO defense, so what you were used to doing before, but now you got ISO defense for all. Critical hit chance, critical damage, those are in the 53s, 73s. The stronger or mid tiers here, the 56s to the 77s. Mitigation versus hostiles, but then you get to ISO Cascade bonuses and crit chance bonuses, and then the big ones, Apex Barrier, crit damage, ISO Cascade. So, here are the currencies you're looking at this time around. Elite Solo Outpost credits. You're going to need the Elite credits to go after things like Benjamin Sisko's actual upgrade materials. So keep an eye out for those. The directives to run them, and then you have the Outpost components needed to actually upgrade the abilities in the Outposts themselves. All right, here's your reward refineries, G7, Ops 71 and above. Then you have the exchange for Ops 61. Here are the bundles, which will begin to be available for G5, G6, G7 players. New plunder rewards, which will include Benjamin Sisko himself. He does have a day one path. FC Sisko points, more Sigma Commander rank up credits, and Fleet Commander seed unlock. That one will require you being G6 and above, level 61 and above for that one right there. New rewards for the retaliation medals, which will be Ezri Dax. So that is going to be the cheaper, it's not the plunder, it's the other one. So you got two main currencies there, and then a trade down. Here's FC Sisko. We have covered him quite a bit already. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. A personal opinion, you know, if you're a G7 player, I can understand you swiping ye old credit card. Everybody else, I'm a big fan of the free-to-play path. You decide what's best for you. And then here's Ezri Dax, another PvP officer. ISO Cascade when attacked by a player on a survey ship, maxing out. Pretty big. You might actually see Rev having some fun with that one, because that's still a significant amount of ISO Cascade. Now, the officer ability is also ISO Cascade based, but not maxing out as high. But again, if we're talking about pairing up with the Hierarch and Nog and making that status control team, depending on your below decks, it's going to be really key and how much this can actually punch. You can actually have a lot here. And a reminder, well, one of the reasons Rev keeps telling you to upgrade those ISO researches, those artifacts, get all that stuff done. All right, so additional content, we got 2 Chaos Techs. One for the Vengeance to try to make the Vengeance more relevant in PvP. It does have some solid numbers when it comes to the Apex Shred and stuff, but I still don't think that it's going to push the Vengeance to really being better than the 73 uncommons. But if you're out there, yes, whatever. And then finally, you got one for the Reliant, which, I'll be honest, I don't really think anybody needs. But again, you find what works for you. I will say I love the lore of the Mark Photon Torpedo here. Then again, battle passes, getting down to the mid-ops. Sorry y'all had to wait so long, but focusing in on Strange New World Kirk here. Sam Kirk, that is, with the Franklin, Mantis, Serene Squall, and Gorn Eviscerator being the ships focused on between those G3 and G4 runs. And then, of course, the Community Corner where they're celebrating the 12 days of Christmas. Hope these notes met you well. Hopefully today has no bugs and great stability. I'm going to be praising and hopeful, because I'd rather be positive and hope it ends up working out. But let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Contact me if you need any help with any of these things that we've discussed. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. And we are out. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.